this house as a parent would send their child to a same-sex school, we have Team Phoenix on government and Team Skylands on opposition. My name is Karen, and I'll be chairing along with 4 other wonderful panels, Yujin, Songjae, Junyoung, and Kyumin. Without further ado, we would like to call up the Prime Minister to start the debate. Here. We're going to be using a timer app, so when you hear a bell ring, you will know when 1 minute is passed.
May I start?
Whenever you're ready.
Good afternoon, fellow debaters and honorable judge. I'm the Prime Minister, and today we are here to talk about should parents send the child to a same-sex school. But before I do so, I'd like to clarify the motion. Same-sex school is a school that just has a boy or girl. For example, girl same-sex school has only girls, and boy same-sex school has only boys. In status quo, there are same-sex school and school has both sex. The problem is that schools which has both sex has lots of accidents. Our team's goal is that our argument will help to make better education and a safe school. Now, let me go on to our argument. Our team's first argument is that government has duty to make a safe school. What does this mean is that government should make a good education and should protect students. How does this happen? Government is here to make a safe school, and it should help students to have a nice education. Why this is important? Because students can be a nice adults which has very safe, very smart heads. So the government should have a duty to protect students and make a better education. For example, people in schools have a good education with having same-sex things. 70% of girls or boys like the same sex in TV programs. So that is why we think our argument was a very strong argument. Now, let me go on to our second argument. Our second argument is that they can make a best friendships. What does this mean is that if the people has a same sex, they can know what they can feel they are very having a best friends. So what does this mean is that if the people have a same sex, they can feel they made friends. So how does this happen is that in lots of books, there are things which are having There are things who are having saying that can make a friend with same sex. So why this is important? Because they should make a friend so they can have a better education. For example, the girls has lots of girlfriends. No, thank you. And a boy has lots of boyfriends. So boys and girls can make a best friendship. Boys has a boyfriend and girls has a girlfriend. So we think the girls and boys should be in a different education by having the friendship because of the lots of education and lots of friendship, so they cannot be bullied. So that is why our argument was right too. So that is why our team thinks our argument was very right, and our argument, which was government's duty to make a same school and it can make a better friendship, was very strong, and it helped to the society to make a better education and a safe school. That is why we think our argument is right, and we are very proud to oppose. I'm very thank you.
We thank the Prime Minister for a wonderful speech. Leader of opposition, whenever you're ready.
In current first of 32nd Korean Constitution is that it's government duty to make different genders to cooperate each other. By this law, the current politicians are trying their best to give equal opportunities to male and female. Before moving on to our direct argumentation of this motion, I would like to rebut before moving on to anything. Firstly, the previous speaker said it is the duty to make a same-sex schools, and it is commonize adults and sex schools become more protect to the students. However, the nice adults and sex schools are not related with the protect the students, and they didn't prove anything to that. They can be the nice adults, and they can protect by the schools. And their second argument was friendship. They can make a good friendship with only the same-sex schools. However, they can have good friendships in the same-sex schools too. They can have it is inclination that only same gender can be a good friend, and the different gender can be a good friends too. Before moving on to our direct argumentation of this motion, I will like to give it a role split. As the leader of opposition, I will talk about our team's first argument, which is society includes both gender. Then our second argument, which is improve themselves. Then our deputy leader opposition will talk about our team's third argument, which is give wrong inclination. We are debating on the opposition side that the same-sex schools will help the students to make better future. Our first argument is society includes both gender, and I will explain this argument by two steps. First of all, the students can admit and understand the differences between both of the gender, and they can accept because they can meet each other gender very often. I want to tell you today, if they are far apart of a long time, it is obvious that they can't understand each other. However, secondly, nowadays in society, like I provided before, to remove discrimination between gender, government is trying their best to give a same and equal chances to both gender. So in many activities, they should cooperate in lots of projects. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, the side government is going against to their practical goal. So sending students for same-sex school is conflict to their first goal. Our second argument is improve themselves, and I will explain this argument by two steps. Firstly, each gender has the different talents. For example, normally the female is good at English and society. However, normally the male is good at science and maths. However, secondly, they can't improve their subject what they're bad, and when they are in the same sex school, because each other gender can't help them each other. However, in different sex schools, they can help each other, like the female can help English and society male students, and the male can help maths or science to female students. Therefore, they can improve and develop their grade in their best subject too. So, because of these reasons, I'm very, very proud to oppose.
We thank the leader of opposition for a wonderful speech. Deputy Prime Minister, whenever you're ready.
May I start?
Yes, whenever you're ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, and honorable judge, I am the Deputy Prime Minister of this debate. The opposition team cannot win this debate because they did not think about the safety of the students, and also it is the government's duty to protect the students. However, before I present my third argument, I have some rebuttals and retakes to the leader of opposition. First of all, the opposition team's first argument is society includes both gender. I have one rebuttal. Even though the society includes both gender, the people will ignore the different sexes because when we grow up in the future, those people always ignore the different sexes because of lots of diverse reasons, like they might not be close with each other. Secondly, the opposition team's second argument is it can improve themselves. I have one rebuttal.
POI, ma'am.
No, thank you. I have one rebuttal. We cannot improve themselves because they will occasionally have a fight if they become in a different.
QI, ma'am.
No, thank you, sir. Then they can have a fight because they will be because all the students fight if they are different sexes. Now let me move on to the retakes. Our team's first argument is the government's duty to make a safer school. The opposition team rebutted that it is not related with a safer school. I have one response. It is related because the students can get a sexual harassment by the other students. For example, if one student is a girl, then the boys can sexual harassment the girls, and if there's a boy, then the girls can sexual harassment the boys. Now, no, thank you, sir. Our team's second argument is we can have a better relationship. The opposition team rebutted that we can have a good relationship in a different sex schools. I have one response. However, almost all of the students don't have a good relationship in the different sex schools because they always fight. Because they are
POI,
not.
ma'am.
No, thank you, ma'am. Because they are different sex. Now I finished my rebuttals and retakes. Let me move on to our last argument.
POI, ma'am.
No, thank you, ma'am. Our third argument is the schools can earn much more money. It means that in same-sex schools, the girls and the boys won't fight because the girls and the boys are separated because they are going to different sex schools, and the girls and the boys will not fight because however, if they're in the same school, if they're in the different sex school, then they will think that they don't like each other. And if the boys and girls fight, it leads to a school violence, and the school won't be able to get a donation by the other corporations. However, if we have a same-sex school, the students won't fight, and the schools can get more donation by other corporations. For example, one girl and one boy became a roommate in school. However, they were not very close because they were in a different sex. One day, the girl and the boy fought because of one accident, and that was a big fight, and it led to a school violence. However, if it was a same-sex school, the girls or boys would not have a fight because they are in the same gender. Therefore, our team thinks that we should allow the same-sex schools. Therefore, I'm proud to propose. Thank you for listening to my speech.
Thank the Deputy Prime Minister for a wonderful speech. Before beginning Diallo's speech, please remember that if your POI is rejected, you can only ask one after 15 seconds, and that the first and last minute are for discussion. Having said that, Deputy Leader of Opposition, you may begin whenever you're ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, in today's debate, our leader of opposition has successfully proved about how can different genders can provide benefit for each others and how both sex school help students' future. Yet the short-sighted government in today's debate kept on arguing on their arguments which has no practical proofs. So, ladies and gentlemen, before I move on to our last substantive, I would like to first rebut to previous speakers. In today's debate, government side have said that people will ignore different sexes when they grow up. I don't get this point, and I want other government speeches to clarify that. And they said they will always fight because they're in different genders. And I don't get this point either, because how can you prove that? why different genders always fight. They can be a great friend too. And they told about it that both sex school has danger because there is sexual harassment. I think there will be more percentage that people who do sexual harassment because of same-sex school because they didn't experience differences about genders. And they told about the school can earn more money if there is same-sex school. However, I think that school is where teach education, not a place where they can earn money. Now moving on to our last substantive, which is same-sex school give wrong inclination. There are girl students school, also boy students, as Prime Minister told you. Most of people divide them because of their differences in physical. We admit that there are differences in physical features or any other subject. However, nowadays society requires an equality of boys and girls, as leader of opposition have proved. Even if it's government duty to make sure that all genders are equal and have same opportunity, government in today's debate try to divide them, and they could send wrong inclination to society. Separating means government know themselves girls or boys are different. And I think if government knows are different, they should respect differences. I think crossing the line between girls and boys by separating school is not right at all. They give society a wrong message that girls and boys are different, that they cannot stay in same school even. And I cannot find any differences between gender discrimination and separating schools. Dividing them because of their differences means government, who should respect differences, is going against themselves and give public that female and male can't be equal, obviously. And let's organize what our team's argument was. First, we told that social includes the both gender, which is female and male, and if they go to company, they have to work together. Second, there should be a government. Same-sex schools gives wrong inclination, which that tells the society that even though they have differences, they should be separated because only differences in physical features. And for those reasons, I'm proud to propose. Thank you.
Thank the Deputy Leader of Opposition for a wonderful speech. Government Whip, whenever you're ready.
Madam, can you check how much time did she speak?
Speaker spoke for 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
Whenever you're ready.
Hi, Mr. and Madam Speaker. I am the government whip speaker of this debate. Now I will going to show two types of schools. The first type of school is a same-sex school, which we can get a safer education. All students are happy because there aren't sex harassment. However, the second type of school is a different sex school, which we can get safer education, and all students are not happy because of sex harassment. For this reason, I will prove why we won this debate for two clashes. Our first clash is that the gender equality. The opposition team have said that it is not related to protect students and the society requires the equality now. However, I think that this is wrong because when we make the different gender schools, the both sex students do violent action to the different gender. No. Also, the other gender are not friendly. They can also harm each other. However, so like oppositions have said, the school should be dangerous and for every student. Also, they have said that society requires the equality now. However, I think that the different gender schools will less the gender discrimination, because when the different gender students do same education and they education together, they think they will fight more and more, and they will more ignore the other gender. So it will less the discrimination between boy and girl. I think we already said that it is government's duty to protect students, and the government's duty to less the discrimination of boy and girl. So I think we won this first clash. Our second clash is the friendship between boy and girl. They have said two things. First, the different gender can be friends, and it can improve themselves. However, I think that this is wrong, because even they can help each other, this is not logical, because they didn't think about how can the boy and girl become friends, and even they become friends, they will not stay with different gender, they will stay with same gender. Secondly, they have said that the different gender can be friends. However, I think that this is also wrong, because they didn't explain that how can different gender can be friends, and also the different gender cannot. I think that different gender cannot be friends, because the different gender have many different things, so they cannot be friends between them. However, I think that we already said that it can make the better friendship between the same genders, because at the same genders schools they can be more friendly, and they can be friendly. In conclusion, the government team scenario is getting the society being safer and the society being more friendly between the same sex students. However, the opposition team scenario is that the schools are very dangerous, and the different gender cannot be friends, so the discrimination between boys and girls will be widened. For this reason, I think we won this debate. I'm proud to propose.
We thank the government whip for a wonderful speech. Opposition whip, whenever you're ready.
Can I start?
Whenever you're ready.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the opposition whip for today's motion. This house would can parents make sure that students should go to same-sex school, and we constantly argued it can't. And I, as a whip speaker, I'm going to look at the whole flow of today's debate and tell you why we take the following two clashes. Since most of my rebuttals are included in my speech, let's move on to our first clash, which is can't different genders be friends? And in today's debate, the side government shows that gave us any other proofs why they could not be friends. Their basic logic is wrong by looking at us. Then can you guys make sure that we are never being friends with our teammates, because we are different teammates, and I am a male, but they are female. But we truly believe that we have a true best friendship, but they keep on arguing that we can't be friends, which means it's causing the positive a discrimination between genders. Why? And it is human nature to cooperate with other gender, and that's why the government is keep working to make society to work each other together. However, ladies and gentlemen, what government should do on today's debate is going under the Constitution of 32nd and 4th Constitution, which is different genders should cooperate each other. However, ladies and gentlemen, the side government on today's debate is constantly arguing that we should ignore the genders, which means they're constantly arguing we should cause gender discrimination. And they also told us that school could not be safe when it's a different sex school. However, ladies and gentlemen, because of sexual harassment, they are making male and female as a potential sexual criminal, which means that they don't give us any other proofs that there could be sexual harassment, and they are just keep causing the discrimination and wrong things to different genders. Therefore, we take the first clash and move on to our last clash, which is what was the true government's duty. And we truly believe that government's duty should go under the Constitution, what Prime Minister told to us, which was 32nd and 4th of Korean Constitution, which is should make the genders to cooperate, and which means that today's debate goes on. And today's debate, the government's duty was to should go under Constitution. However, ladies and gentlemen, the side government has keep arguing that we should ignore different gender, and actually they mentioned that they will going to ignore the gender. However, ladies and gentlemen, like I've told you, it is a big discrimination and a wrong attitude of government. And we truly believe that discrimination is not respecting the differences between people. In today's debate, like I've told you, they are not respecting the differences between gender. For today, so these are reasons. I proved that their attitude on today's debate was totally wrong, and I want them to prove. And let's wrap up this clash. And I want them to prove. Can you make sure that we are never be friends with teammates? And also, can you make sure that can you tell? Please know that what is the true government's duty. Therefore, we take the last clash. And since we take all of the clashes, I strongly beg you to oppose. Thank you.
Thank the opposition list for a wonderful speech. Opposition. Remember, there are no POIs for both proposals.
May I start?
Whenever you're ready.
Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker. I'm the opposition reply of today's debate, and the government is arguing that the same-sex school can make a better society, while our opposition has successfully proved that the both-sex school can make a better future to students. We have a great speakers here, including myself, but what I like to do from now on is take a step back from the debate, take a step back from the rhetoric, and really look at what has been said. Let's look at the material. It's pretty obvious that there are two very important things to consider in today's debate, and the first one is about the harm. To this, we said the same-sex school will harm the society. According to the Prime Minister's speech, she said they can't learn about the female, therefore they can't do well in the society, and they will have a wrong sexual information. Therefore they will make a big problem to society. And also, we said the same-sex school harms to society because the same-sex school send the wrong message to society, because the same-sex school makes an inclination to society, and this is proved by our deputy leader opposition. And moving on to the second important point, which was about the safety. And to this we said, but I admit the different gender school has some problem, but the process of solving the problem will help the students to make the rational choices and stay well in the society. But the short-sighted argument is that short-sighted government is keep arguing that they have to send students to the same-sex school just because the both-sex school are causing too much problem. And to wrap up, our opposition have two burden of proof, which we successfully proved in today's debate. And the first one is that the both-sex school can make a better society. And the second one is that government has duty to protect educate the students in right way. But opposition didn't prove that the same-sex school can make a better society, and it will help the students to have a better future. But for this reason, I'm very proud to take this debate home. Thank you.
We thank the opposition reply for a wonderful speech. Government reply whenever you're ready.
May I start now?
Whenever you're ready.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen, and honorable judges. I am the government reply speaker of this debate. Now, I am going to show two types of school. The first type of school is a same-sex school, which we can get a safer education, and all of the students are happy. However, the second type of school is a different-sex school, which we cannot get a safer education, and all of the students are not happy because they don't know when they can have a sexual harassment or violence. We, the government side, think that the first type of school is much better because it lessens the burden of parents and students, and also we can get a better education. So we can prove. So now I'll prove that we can make the first type of school. Firstly, the opposition side's first argument is that society includes both gender. However, I agree with it. However, it does not mean that they can be best friends. The opposition side's second argument is that it can improve themselves, like men does math and science well and women does English well. However, we should not be biased that men does math and science well and women does English well. There might be a woman that does math and science well. So the woman that does math and science well and the woman does English well can help each other. Thirdly, the opposition stated that the society requires equality. However, it is very similar with the first argument because it is all saying about gender equality. And we said that it is the duty of schools to make nice adults. However, they rebutted that it is not related and it does not have a reason by making nice adults. However, it is the duty of school to make students to do well in society. So if we say that in other words, we should make those students nice. And we said that we can make good relationships each other. However, they rebutted that different genders can be good friends. However, the same genders have more similar things, and if we compare with different genders, the same genders can understand each other well. As an example, our teammates are all friends. However, we do not know that we are all best friends. So the argument failed. So by those evidences, we can make a same-sex school. We think that the same-sex schools can success. Thank you.
Thank the governor reply for a wonderful speech. Thank you everyone for a wonderful debate. Please cross the floor and shake hands with each other. You guys can pack up your stuff and go back to the main hall in the other building and wait there, and we will announce the results for EFL Grand Finals at the main ceremony at the end.
Yes.
Okay.